Charlotte knows that it needs to build 24,000 units to solve its affordable housing crisis. City officials say that's a billion-dollar problem that they can't possibly fund. So what should we do? Eyewitness News reporter Mark Barber traveled to Nashville, a city that's also dealing with rapid growth.
He found the Queen City could learn a few things from Music City about getting people into homes they can afford.
Nashville and Charlotte look like sister cities. Construction cranes tower over new skyscrapers sprouting from the ground. Luxurious new apartments are sprinkled throughout vibrant neighborhoods, exploding with growth. When you look closer at two of the biggest boomtowns in the South, the difference in how they handle affordable housing comes into sharp focus.
It's hot, come on.
Alice Summers and her granddaughter have lived in this South Nashville apartment for 3 years.
I'm just proud of this place. I used to be homeless, sleeping in cars, going to churches, washing up in a sink at a gas station.
Alice was hooked on drugs and lived on the street for nearly 5 years.
We've had probably 100.
Until she met Kirby Davis. The high-profile Nashville developer gave her a second chance by giving her a home in one of his apartment complexes.
And I didn't really like the idea of people in my town sleeping on the streets.
His company has more than 15,000 apartments, and they rent 1% of them to the homeless at deep discounts. Davis and a network of other developers now house more than 3,000 people. That's 5 times more than the number of homeless people housed in Charlotte. Davis thinks his ideas could help here.
You take a loss of more than $300,000 to house people at these discounts. What makes you think developers in Charlotte are willing to let go of this money too?
And you got to be willing to tax yourselves to provide for people who can't do it.
Nashville's approach goes well beyond developers and the business community. More than 10 years ago, the city made a major change regarding property taxes.
When neighborhoods like this change in Charlotte, property taxes often rise so fast, many residents get priced right out of their own homes. Well, here in Nashville, city leaders have found a way to stop that from happening. For veterans and anyone over the age of 65, they will actually freeze property taxes for those who live in older homes like this one.
We have to operate, though, within our legislative bounds.
Pamela Weidman oversees Charlotte's affordable housing efforts and told me state lawmakers won't let the city change tax laws for anyone. Still, she admits the success in Nashville can't be dismissed.
I believe that every person deserves a safe, decent place to call home.
Do they have that here?
This is a community issue that will require community solutions.
Weidman says Charlotte is trying to focus on what it can control, finding more landlords to open affordable apartments.
I am hopeful that we will start to see more landlords stepping up to help with this.
She tells me the city is trying to build more partnerships, but many local landlords are worried about the money they'll miss.
All of you in Charlotte have to ask yourself, do we want our kids to walk by people sleeping on the streets while we go work in this fabulous city and industry?
Back in Nashville, Kirby Davis says every affordable unit set aside in his 100 properties is now occupied. He's looking to carve out even more for people like Alice and her granddaughter.
It's some people out there now that really needs it. It's a lot of people out there die every day.
Nashville developers are focusing on helping the homeless first because, as Alice just said, it can often mean the difference between life and death. So what do we do about others like teachers who aren't homeless but still cannot afford to live in the communities they serve? Nashville has also found innovative ways to help them. What they're doing to make it work ahead on Eyewitness News at 6. Scott, Erica.
Well, that Nashville developer says giving the homeless somewhere to live literally transforms their lives, and the idea that they lower an apartment's appeal and value, he says, is a myth. Channel 9 is devoting a primetime special to Charlotte's affordable housing crisis. We're going to share stories of people impacted and have experts to focus on solutions. Watch Priced Out of Charlotte. That's Wednesday, May 30th at 8 p.m. live here on Channel 9.